Hello, and welcome back to Pints with Pals. I'm one of your hosts, Jason. And here are my two pals, Mike and Jeremy.
Hi guys. How's
Hey,
it going?
Rilla.
Hi guys. Going great.
Yeah.
Excited for today.
How was your
Ooh.
how was your week? Did you do anything fun this week?
Recovered from the previous week.
Yeah.
Eating tacos and margaritas and a beer. It was a pretty chill week. I didn't make it out anywhere. I didn't drink any beer this week. Huh.
I tried not to. I successfully failed at not drinking beer this week.
Yes.
We met some neighbors. So on Wednesdays in our sub, they have a food truck. And so this week, they just started doing it. So this was the third week. It was a barbecue style stuff. So they had like pulled pork and pulled chicken and pulled brisket, I guess, just brisket. But because the last week we just went up there and then like walked home with our food. We felt kind of weird not talking to people. So this time we took like one of those pop-up tents and set it like up in like the little pavilion area, and then brought our like Costco table and chairs out there and sat around that and chatted with a bunch of people. And then like one of our neighbors just shows up drinking a Crimson Keep, which is one of the Dragon's Milk, the new Dragon's Milk red barrel-aged version. It's like an 11%. We're like, oh, and then she had Gumball too, and I think she was just surprised that I could recognize both of those beers as she was walking up and didn't know who she was. And I was like, ooh.
You're my new best friend.
Right. So it's like her and her husband. He used to live in Chicago. So he's like, I have family and stuff out there. So if we want to go, I could probably have like room and board. I'm like, well, that's really awkward, but all right, cool. So
Right.
I'm like, it's a really cool thing to offer. He's like, so when we go next time, I'm like, oh, so this is happening already, is it? So what about you, Jeremy?
Nope, go ahead.
So go ahead.
What did I do this week? Not much, but I did drink. So what did I do much at all? So boring side for me.
Did you have your homebrew meeting?
No,
No homebrew?
that's only. Yeah, that's like the second Wednesday of the month, and then like the third Thursday of the month, and stuff like that. So those are already all passed. So
Boo. Okay.
be next month.
Well, today we're drinking another one of Mike's favorites. We're drinking Voodoo Ranger, Juice
Heck yeah,
Force,
look at that.
Hazy
Aw.
Imperial IPA. Jeremy, yours is like wee compared to Mike and I got.
No, I get a little tiny one this time. You guys always get the small ones. I figure
9.5%. I was thinking the other one was heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very excited. So one of the previous episode, I think, or a couple episodes ago, we did Bell's
Two-hearted.
Two Hearted, which Mike
Mhm.
wasn't a big fan of. So I think, and Jeremy, I think you even think he might like this one more.
I think you like this one, yeah.
So
This
this
is
is
a
an-
great
less,
IPA.
so you'll be about 38 now.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let's get into this. I am
Yeah.
super excited.
Oh, it smells delicious. My cup's too small today.
Sounds like a beer. Wait.
Oh, and I spilled.
Yeah, my first few
Ah,
episodes, I got a lot of beer in my keyboard. I am not going to show that on camera because don't look at my beer. This is not the beer you're looking for.
This is
I
the
may
beer
or may
you're
not
looking
have broken it.
What
I'll be able to
happened?
drink this in like 45 minutes. This smells very grapefruity on the nose. But it's
I know. I get,
not necessarily grapefruit. It's got
I
that.
get passion fruit and mango.
I actually do. I do get more of a passiony fruit.
Sorry.
So this is called Juice Force by
Juice
Voodoo
Force.
Ranger.
Yeah, Juice Force. Yeah.
No, by New Belgium.
This
Well,
is
it's
the one I
Voodoo
like.
Ranger's
New
Juice
Belgium.
Force. There's So we discussed this, and I for whatever reason thought that the Voodoo Ranger was its own company. So maybe initially they were, and then they were bought by New Belgium.
Nope.
Or were they just always New Belgium just came up
It's
with the
just
thing?
their series.
It's
Yeah,
a
so it
series of
confused the
beers.
hell out of me
They
when I
make a
saw that it was
bunch
New
of different
Belgium.
ones.
Yeah. So
Well, it's kind of like Founders Mothership, blah blah blah. How they have their own series of beers, so just kind of fall underneath that. They have a lot of this. So like I've been to their brewery. They have two that I know of. The one in Colorado, which is the first one. You like that one?
yeah,
It's kind of malty,
Yeah,
kind of sweet
it's
forward
so
a little
good.
bit.
it
Yeah,
smells way more IPA than it tastes. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
you did a
your.
good job, Jason.
Yeah, well, I think that you were the one that turned me on to this because I bought a 6 packs of it and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this is delicious.
yeah,
And
it's
then
really good.
that 9% hits, 9.5% hits real fast, but it's
Yeah,
like so good.
Because you have to
yeah,
drink it that
but
fast.
you drink it. Well, I drink it like it's not a 9% because there's no alcohol burn, right?
Right.
That's really really subtle. That's the kind of
Yeah,
that should scare people. I say that all the time, and like some other guys I brew with, they kind of laugh at me, but at the same time they can't think about it. They're like, yeah, I think you're kind of right because it does. Like you don't realize it's such a heavy beer. The bam, it's not that heavy, but high alcohol beer and hits
yeah,
you like, oh wow, that's.
yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I've been to the brewery in Asheville, North Carolina, which is only like 45 minutes away from here or something like that. And how they do it, you buy flights, but they already have the flights pre-made for you, so you get a menu, so you can do their IPA line, you can do their like their flat tire line, which is like that, and like a rose and some other one. There's like four different ones you can choose from, and I think they have like 3 or 4 different styles of tours. I didn't do any of them. I just went there and just drink. But I think they have like a subguided tour where you can just kind of walk through the plant. That's actually it was huge. It's really really big. It's right on the I want to say French Broad River, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like one of the furthest ones away from all the other ones. Because Asheville, a lot of the breweries are right on top of each other. So like you can go, you can start off at like not Highland Brewery, but High Wire. Go like a block down, you're at a different brewery. Go like 2 blocks over, you're at a different brewery. You just all these breweries are right. These are kind of off the beaten path, and so is Highland Brewery. But if you get a chance, I definitely say we should go
I
because I like
Asheville's
it. So it's clean.
it's on my list to go to Asheville,
Yeah,
and
Asheville. I
now
love that. I love Asheville.
after having this, so I've had New Belgium before. I've had Fat Tire, um,
I didn't
Yeah,
realize this
and
was
Amarillo
and the
is really
also
Fat
good.
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Or
Fat Tire.
Amarillo.
I am not a fan of Fat Tire, um, but this is
Do you like
delicious.
ambers? I mean,
I
do you
do
like
like
amber
Ambers,
ales?
yeah,
Okay. So
but
Isn't
I
Fat
don't
Tire
know.
an IPA also? I thought it
it's
was.
amber, I believe.
Huh.
It has been a very long time since I had Fat Tire, but
Yeah.
so maybe it's maybe my flavor profile has changed. But this is, I mean, this is a different style of beer, but this I love this. Very fruity, very, citrus, just easy
Mm-hmm.
drinking.
Yeah, it's not as grapefruity as it is other citrus, and then like passion fruit, and they said
I
like
get mango.
I mean, I get a
mango.
lot of mango. Yeah,
I think
Ah,
that's from
it's
the mosaic
so
hops.
fruity.
That's why I like this one. It's like I think as heavy as it or strong as it is, it's a really good summer-ish beer, right?
So it's an imperial IPA. So it's a hazy
Yeah,
imperial IPA. So hazy means that they just didn't filter it, and imperial means that they
for the most
basically
part.
doubled the recipe of a normal IPA,
The
roughly.
grain bill, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, roughly.
Um,
Yep.
so that's where you're getting more of the alcohol content is from the imperialness. So when you see the word imperial, you can kind of assume that it's going to be a heavier beer.
Yeah,
So, but oh, this is the whole
I
thing.
think a little
So
bit of peach too. Sorry.
yeah,
that's
I
what
can
I
see
do. I
peach.
think that's the fruit smell that I was getting that I couldn't
Yeah.
put my nose on because I don't eat peaches. And it I don't recognize it right off the top. But there's
Mhm.
so like in the like craftbeer.com thing, I was nervous because it said that an imperial IPA would be in the like highest range of bitterness. So it's like normally between 65 and 100 IBUs or more. But this one isn't that high, so it doesn't follow. Well, it's also hazy too, so it's like it doesn't quite follow that scale as much. So that's why I was super terrified of it. And I guess it's like when you go into a movie thinking it's going to be
Right.
bad and it's just okay. So I went into this thinking it was going to be terrible and it wasn't too bad. I
I
do
think
like.
Why
it's actually a
it's
good beer,
and I
Mike. It's actually a good beer. Like,
right. I do think why it's an IPA is just because I said the amount of hops. Like it has Mosaic, Chinook, Fado, Galaxy, Batra, Lotus and Sabro or whatever, and like all of them provide all those fruits that they were smelling. So they provide the mango, the passion fruit, the peach, the melon. Like I think I get like almost like a melon. I want to say cantaloupe, but it's, like a melon kind of smell too. I was just like it's just an aroma bomb of just stuff. And I think another reason why it's hazy though too is they also use oats in their grist.
Is it
So
got gluten in it? Oh
Oh
no.
gosh. Oh whatever. You had pizza for dinner.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
So
Had a lot of pizza.
you're telling me there's no fruit in this? Well, I guess you don't know
No.
for sure, but
It's just hops. All the hops.
that's insane. This
No.
is
Yes.
delicious.
Hops are crazy with how they can alter like a recipe because like all they use is pale malt, so maybe like a 2-row or something like that. It's really simple, just sugars. They use wheat malt and they use oats. You're not going to get any of those flavors from that stuff. That's it. They don't say what kind of yeast they use. Certain yeast can give you certain esters, which esters would be like fruit flavors and stuff like that. But I mean, you have 7 different hops, and they, like I said, all of them provide this fruit melody of flavor and aroma, and yeah.
It's I would have said it's a fruit IPA. There's mangoes, there's peach, whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
insane to me. That's
Yeah, me too.
It's a really good one. That's
for
really,
sure.
really good.
I'm gonna have to. My dad, like I said in whatever the episode was that we were talking about the IPAs, he likes the. I don't know. There's like a mango, not a mango. Four Giants or whatever made a mango version of it, and he really likes that. And if this is something, I think he'll probably like. Although
Where'd you
it
have Four
doesn't.
Giant?
We had it in Florida, I think. I don't know.
Really?
They had it somewhere here that he could get it. So he got it from there. Can't remember where we went.
You can always buy one of the tall boys and split it with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he might like this, but the fact that it doesn't taste as much like an IPA as it does taste like a fruit beer, he might not like it. So, it's kind of a
Well, there's no fruit.
Haven't
in it,
tried
so,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a hit or miss with that guy. He's super hard to please. He's like, oh, I like it, I don't like it, and then the more he drinks, the more he likes. So the drunker he gets, the better it tastes. Everything tastes good then. I don't know if we brought this up.
Drink this really fast, he'll get drunk. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I did not expect it to be 9.5%. I was super surprised when I saw that.
yeah.
That's good.
So they've been around for quite a while. Looks like been around since 1991. Which I thought was pretty interesting. Me and Jason were debating the actual like founding date. I gave almost with 1988, but I guess they went on a bike tour of Belgium. Like, ooh, we really like these styles of beers. Blah blah. Let's make a brewery. So yeah, so Jay-Z found some pretty interesting information. I'll let him share.
Well, I find the one piece of information, and I mean we talked about it with the Bell's Two Hearted IP episode, which is last episode or 2 episodes ago. I don't know whenever this one comes out, but they have also been acquired by Lion, however you say it, which is the same company that bought Bell's around the same time. And I don't know if they're, who knows, whatever controlling, however it works. But I found that interesting. I get why they do it, so they can distribute. So I felt like I could find New Belgium. I don't know, maybe, but then now they can go everywhere. But still, it's interesting that they were bought by them. But yeah, started in 1990. No, you said 92, right? No, 91. 91 is when they officially started, but you saw that they went to Belgium in 99 or
88.
88. And I'm pulling this from the wiki, which I'm going to say is, or Wikipedia, which I'm going to say is very accurate. But I find it interesting that in 1999 they became the first wind-powered brewery in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
And they're
And
in Tennessee. Is there breweries in Tennessee and
No, it's in North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. I get that confused because you're so close to it that I forget that it's like that it's like a
Yeah,
different
I'm right
state.
on the border. Like,
They have a brewery in Colorado though, right?
yeah, I think that's where the first one was about what I was reading earlier.
Okay.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah,
we
so
were
I'm always
talking.
interested in how that kind of works. Like, when you have multiple breweries, like I know they don't blend their stuff, right? Because like be impossible. Like Yeehaw brought them up before, like in a different podcast. They have 3 breweries in Tennessee, and I want to go to. I can do 2 in one day, and I would like to do that just to see how they taste different. They both sell kind of the same stuff. Just see what
You,
the differences are.
so I know with Sam Adams, they
Uh-huh.
brew. I don't think that. Well, and this is, geez, 15, 20 years ago. They would brew their beer. They wouldn't switch. Like it wasn't like one brewery was doing. Or they were multiple breweries were not brewing the same thing. It was one brewery. One of their facilities would do, you know, uh, a Sam Adams.
The cherry wheat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. And then I know they're the ones in Boston, like some of the original ones, they just do like their specialty beers, their one-offs where they're trying stuff, where they're barrel aging the
Hmm.
Utopias. Uh, but yeah, they just once they get their recipe done, like they just mass produce that elsewhere. I would
Okay.
assume they have to. There must be a way that they're allowed to distribute or move that beer across state lines if they're going to distribute
Maybe.
at their other facility. I would be surprised if they're brewing the same recipe at the
For
same
2 different
brewery.
locations.
But maybe I'm not a brewer. I have no idea. That'd be a good question for brewer.
Yeah, when I was
It'd be a
in
tough one.
when we were in um Bourbon County, what's that place? Goose Island? That brewery, there's like 2 breweries in Chicago basically, and that's kind of what they said. It's like they do in the smaller one, they do all their like specialty stuff and like trial batches of things and something that they've been doing there for a while or whatever. And that's also how I think Founders was doing it when they had their 2, they'd have the Detroit and the Grand Rapids locations, and they would have like Grand Rapids was where they did most of their brewing, and then they did like one-off stuff and small batch things in the Detroit one. But then they still housed all of the, because there's like catacombs or something underneath, or caverns or caves or something underneath Grand
Salt
Rapids.
mines,
Yeah.
probably salt.
So then they have
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff stored there.
And I have no idea. I could be totally wrong, Jerry. You might be right. Maybe they brew the same recipe, and there could
I
be
don't
different
know. That's a
flavor
good question.
profiles. Any of our listeners who know, let us know.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
Cigar
curious.
City out of Florida, Shorts Brewery, maybe somewhere in Comstock, which is by Kalamazoo, Michigan. But I think Shorts Brewery is someone involved with Cigar City, and they might have a facility in Comstock that is brewing the what is it? I don't know how to say it. Jalai
Oh
IPA.
yeah. Yeah.
They brew
I've
that
not had
in
it, but I heard it's
Michigan.
good.
I lie.
It's
Okay.
delicious. Yeah, yeah. Um, you can look at the can. It says made in Kalamazoo, Michigan, or whatever. And I think Shorts is something. I could be totally wrong, but it is very weird to me that yes, the Florida brewery is brewing up here, and maybe that's because they don't want to ship, so maybe it's the same recipe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I think that's the one. The Cigar City one was the one that my dad found that was there. It was the whatever that fruit was that I said, IPA, the tangerine or
Mango.
mango. Yeah.
Oh,
So
tangerine. I
like
think
that's
that's what
where
you said 2 episodes ago.
he
Yeah.
found it. That's where he found it, was down there. And that's where he was like kind of chasing that.
In
But
Tampa.
no, we were in like St. Pete, so kind of close to
Okay.
there.
I would love to go. That's on my list of breweries to visit. They do uh, they have a festival or whatever. That sounds really fun. There's that. I'd like to go there, and there's I think it's like bike brewing or bicycle brewing, cycle brewing. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
He's
And
bicycle. Okay.
it's like cycle brewing is what I'm thinking of in Tampa. That I follow them on Instagram, whatever, and I love all their bottle designs and just their whole vibe, I guess. But I want to check them out.
Speaking
Unfortunately, I
of
don't.
following people on Instagram or whatever, did you see that Founders is coming out with their blueberry
Yeah.
KBS? I am super
Actually, yeah.
excited for that one. I really liked their chocolate cherry one. I hate KBS. I don't hate KBS. KBS is one of my least favorites. And It used to be super rare, and then they kind of ruined it by making it not ruined it, but they just mass produced it. So now it's not the same.
It also, I mean, KBS was
No,
great.
really interesting.
KBS was great back in the day. Jeez, am I old? Where there wasn't a lot of barrel aged beers, but in KBS was good. And now there's just the markets. There's everything is barrel aged at this point. So maybe it's just that KBS hasn't changed. Maybe it still tastes the same way it did, but
you're
there's just
being introduced
more
to like
variety.
way better or at least different
Right.
stuff potentially.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I don't know if you had time to look up a recipe. If you
I did not know this time.
All right, I didn't know.
Well, grab every type of hop you can find. Apparently,
That's what it sounds
Throw
like.
it in a
Right.
pot.
I would. I mean, I don't know how hard. I think it would be kind of hard to reproduce this, but I mean, I have a couple ideas. Like I said, they already list what they use,
The yeast they don't.
so
Right?
I
You
would just
said?
have to reverse engineer. The yeast I don't know, and I guess a lot of the hops are not really for bittering because there's only 30 IBU.
Mhm.
So a lot of the hops are going to be at either the last 5-10 minutes or at flame out, which basically is exactly what it sounds like, right? Right when you turn off the heating element and you just let it sit for 5 minutes or so. And I'm willing to bet that some of them are dry hop too, which basically is the process like after you take your wort, you put it in the fermenter and you start the fermenting process. Maybe let's say a week or so goes by, then you throw more hops into it and you just let it grab all the flavors that way as well. Like that's it for like a week or so.
Well,
I think it'd be hard to make it, but it'd be kind of fun to experiment to try to figure it out, anyways.
Have you tried to make any kind of imperial? Oh, you don't have like the milling stuff yet, so you can't really like
No,
go
the
ham with your
only
grain recipes.
no, the only IPA I made so far was the orange creamsicle IPA I made a couple months ago. Something
I
like
know.
that.
I wish I would have been able to try
It's about
that.
almost gone. I think I have like 16, 20 ounces left. That's about it. So
How does that get? How does that taste after a while of sitting like that? Because it's been on tap for
fine,
probably
it's good.
like 3 months.
Really
Same.
good.
That's good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your.
No oxygen got you, which is nice because you try to do like a zero oxygen transfer. Because you can get what's called oxidized, which can make a beer taste kind of funny. One of the big key signals for that is like it may taste like cardboard.
That's what happens to keg beer.
I've only had
A party keg beer, like because
yeah.
you're pumping it and like
you're pumping air into it.
yeah, that and like everybody that goes up there pumps it 100 times and you don't need to, so it's like
Right,
cool.
yeah.
I'll just have foam
Yeah.
for the rest of this party. That's fun. Yeah, I was trying to look while you're talking, and like I was like, oh, I'll look up a recipe, and I'm like, oh, this is all just gibberish to me. Cool. All right, well,
I'm sure there's probably a clone out there.
right, that's what I looked
assume.
up, and there were like
okay.
100 recipes, and I like clicked on it, and like it gave me like all these like percentages and like numbers that I didn't understand. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna close that real quick and get out of here and go back to this.
Have you ever looked at Jeremy's recipes?
No.
It's the same thing.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
If you look at them, I'm just like, cool, Jeremy. This looks really neat, but I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, the next time I have you out here, I wanna soon
We
I
should
wanna
do-
like buy I wanna do the whole brewing. I kind of want to get the
what you want to do.
yeah, and but I need to buy the stuff, so I need to make my Keyser. So I want to do that, but I don't want to buy the kit because I feel like you've basically replaced everything that was in your kit, or you want to at this point.
I'm going to, but I haven't done it yet.
So I'm like, I would rather just buy the plastic inserted ones so that I can replace them if I need to, and go with like the better stuff, or at least make my kit as I need it instead of like a fake one. So
I should reach out to when I bought this house, the previous homeowner, when I toured it, he had like underneath the stairs, like the cellar, he had just bottles of wine. I mean, like, geez, Jeremy, I still have like I'm toasty. You can tell.
Yeah.
I'm chatty, and I still have like half of this can left. Anyway, yeah, the previous homeowner had just under his cellar, just hundreds of bottles of wine. He had probably 50 growlers. I'm guessing at one point he decided to collect growlers, which is like you have to have a lot of space if you're collecting growlers. And he had I don't think I saw much beer unless he was putting that into his. I think he had moved on from beer to wine for his wife. But in talking to him, he ended up having kids and he wasn't doing it as much. But he had like a grape masher or whatever. He had a mill. He had everything, and he's like, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And he's like, yeah, do you want to buy it from me? And I said, well, not now. But I'm curious. I'd be curious to reach out to him. Maybe he still has it. I would just want to get rid of it. But
Are you gonna make
Dude,
wine
do
though?
that.
Or
Then you start use
no,
ciders.
yeah,
I'm not a wine wine gives me a headache. It's weird.
you might be
Yeah.
drinking the wrong
And
kind
I
of
feel
wine. Is it
it gives me sinus stuff in my nose.
red or white or both?
I don't know. I don't drink wine anymore, so I don't know.
White wine gives me a headache. Gives me cramps. But I don't know. Yeah, those kind of cramps. Jerks.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
You didn't have to.
Thinking it. I didn't say it.
Yeah, the
Thinking
podcast
it.
people wouldn't have picked up on that, but the people watching
No.
us on YouTube would have definitely seen it. You thought with your face.
I did.
I would be. I mean, this is Pints with Pals.
Yes.
I would like to try. Not necessarily something else, but I wouldn't mind doing cider or not ciders.
It's like you.
Well,
can't
even
do
a cider
ciders.
would be good, but
Mhm.
a seltzer.
Cider.
Because Jeremy taught me that you can brew seltzer.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
super simple.
Yeah, because usually I think you just get a carbonated water and just throw vodka in there, and that's what all a seltzer is. But I've seen breweries that make seltzers that they're actually brewing it, and there's lactose and all the fun stuff in there, and I think that'd be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that. And I was hoping. Well, I want to do like a brew with us. Like I want to do like a collaborative brew. Also,
Let's
that'd
go
be
to
kind of
Jeremy's.
fun.
Let's go.
Well, I think that we should go to Saugatuck and do that one.
Oh,
Not really, because that's really expensive. But
it is expensive, and
they have all the stuff there and done, and then they handle it all, so it's a little bit easier for us in that respect, I think.
but we go to Jeremy's and he handles it all. We help him brew
Exactly.
and leave, and then he's got to deal with the fallout.
That's actually
Well, that's
also
fine.
true.
I don't mind. As long as you guys clean, that's all I
Oh,
need
no,
from you.
that's I'm out.
Deal breaker.
Yeah.
We'll bring the wives, and they won't
There you
clean.
go.
Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
No, that's
Two
because
of the
like,
three of
my
them
wife
don't even
would feel
drink
like it's your
beer.
hobby.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah,
hobby.
it's true.
Ugh.
I think I found one beer that I'm going to make. I think it's a Brunswick before. It's going to be a Radler.
Okay.
It's not going to be my next upcoming beer. It'll be my next beer. So probably end of July, maybe August. I'll make like. Oh, dude, I'm thinking I'm going to make a 2-gallon batch.
Is that going to be like at like 2%? Isn't that the one you just add?
Yeah, it'd be about 2 to 3%,
lemonade
something
too?
like that. Yeah. You can do lemonade. The one I had my wife try was raspberry, and she actually.
Ooh,
liked
that
it.
sounds delicious.
So I'll probably just get some raspberry like pop or something like that, and then add it to the keg and just carb it up and be done with it. So I'll just make a weak light ale, basically, or lager or something like that.
You should get
and just do it that way.
Does Rock and Rye? What's Rock and Rye? What's the Fago
That's strawberry cream soda.
that'd be delicious.
Yeah.
That'd
You
be
want
one hell of a Radler.
Red pop.
Yeah.
Fago.
Not to get off too far off the topic of this beer, but I did
Too
order
late.
my next grain bill, and I'm going to make another honey cream ale. But I changed my recipe slightly, so I knocked down the IBUs on it. So it's going to be about 10 IBUs, just for bittering, and then I'm going to add some carapils to it, which basically bumps up the ABV like by 0.1% or whatever. So it'd be like 5.6% when it gets done. But it's going to leave a nice white foamy head. That's what I want. So yeah, I can't wait to make that. That's going to be probably next weekend, maybe.
So what beers do you have currently on tap or in bottles that you've made? Or am I not allowed to know?
So on hand, I have not honey cream ale. I have my blueberry honey ale, which I'm gonna crack one open tonight just to see how it's coming along. I'll tease you guys later on. And keg, I got my wheat wine, which not much left. I have like I think there maybe 20 ounces left of my a creamsicle IPA, and then I have one bottle I think left of my Maple Brown Ale, and that's it. That's all I got. That's mine.
Wow.
Ours are
Well,
all
you have
store-bought, which
time
is
to
weird
brew.
at this
you
point in
have
my life.
those
to brew,
thick
yeah.
ones. We got the
Oh, I do have those. I forgot about those ones. Yeah, the coconut, bourbon, vanilla,
yeah.
the
stout,
hazy.
whatever. Yeah, I have those ones.
Yeah, I think we need to do one of those.
Those are really good. They turned out really good. Oh
When
gosh,
you were here in
does Jason have one of those?
Yeah, you were here in
I have
February.
Yeah,
When you were
two.
in February, I
Yeah,
can't remember.
February,
So
yeah.
then that's February.
Yeah.
What is it? June. So that's been like 3 months,
Yeah.
4 months. So I think it's pretty close to time to start doing one of
Try
those.
it. No,
Think
what
that'll
I
be
say is you're gonna have to use a
It's like
strainer
90
as you pour it into a
degrees
cup.
out. Okay.
Well, turn
You
your
just
air
drink one of
on.
these heavy boys. We can drink a stout.
I still have half of my beer left.
You're
I want
drinking
more.
too slow then.
I was thinking, I mean, I could definitely drink this on the beach. You were talking about Radlers, and Radlers are like just easy drinking beers.
Yes.
I would
totally.
love to drink this on the beach, but holy hell, that 9.5%. That is.
Right, this
This
is how
the
you get
only
like
drink you have, right?
yeah, this is how you get
Right.
passed out and then like have like a cell phone tan line and like your hand like
Voodoo Ranger.
yeah, as people are just writing on you with their their stuff.
I like their logos, and I was reading a little bit about. They have one artist who does their art, and it's consistent. I think a lot of breweries do that.
Okay.
I really like that the logo. Like I could get a tattoo
Yeah,
of that,
that's
and I'd be
really good.
happy because that looks really cool.
I don't know if I told you this. I ran into the guy that draws the logos. He drew the original logos for No Rules, the John Goodman ball thing. I was at Founders and just sort of like talking to him and I had a parent shirt on. He's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And he's like, "Yeah, I drew their logo for him, and then they just take the logo and keep switching out the ball color." I'm like,
Does
"That's
he get
neat."
royalties?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they didn't pay any royalties. He might get them. They said that. Well, when Perrin or who's the Big Lebowski see this, they're going to be like, "Wait a minute!" But I think
Well-
it's an artistic rendition of it, so they've never actually paid for any like royalties for that.
I think don't they have a picture of John Goodman holding No Rules?
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean that whoever the owner of that like license agreement or whatever is.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
Very true.
Anyhow,
Anyway.
So Voodoo Ranger, I give it a thumbs up. I would drink this again. I am surprised.
5
And
out
it
of
was tasty.
no, I'd give it a 5.
I give it
definitely
a
drink
4.5 out of 5
Yeah.
bottle caps.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 4.5 out of 4.5. Wait, that's a weird way to do it. Anyhow,
I don't turn it down. I don't actively look for it. So, but I mean, it's a good beer for sure.
I'm glad that I tried it, and I do think that the can like it draws me into it, just because it's kind of cool looking. Juice Force, but. Alrighty, that about does it for this episode. I'd like to say thanks for tuning in, and go have a pint with your pals.
And please drink responsibly.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Give us some comments about the breweries and let us know if they
Most definitely, yeah.
If they what do you want us to drink? That'd be great to know.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers. Jeremy's gone.